So this is, when I talk about soft marketing, right? I'm talking about this concept, but that, I mean, nothing that those were all great inputs, right? But there's a lot of things you can do during this fourth quarter, right? Where you're not ticking days on market. Your mom's got these down. So what are they? What are they? There's a lot of things you could be doing. So Scott, what would you be doing?
Well, Remax.com.
So Remax first look.
Social media.
Social media.
Can you do Zillow coming soon?
Yeah.
First look.
Well, that's
Now,
what
you
we
answered-
send out from
You
the
asked
office.
that like you were
Oh.
not sure.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure
You're like,
if there's
I'm
an amount of time requisite that you can.
There is, but there's plenty of time. So let's go a little bit more confident with that statement.
Coming
You can.
soon on Zillow.
Yes, because if you said it like that, we could do coming soon on Zillow, couldn't we, Mr. Customer? No, we do coming soon on Zillow. Say it.
Coming soon on Zillow.
Is a great idea.
Great idea.
A lot of my clients have found success around
A
that.
lot of my clients have found success around that, and we're gonna really find out who's interested.
And we're outstanding on off-market properties. A lot of buyers we work with want to see homes that aren't available to the public,
Yeah. And if-
right?
and
That's
if-
how you do it.
and
You
if
don't, yeah.
can't, you'll list or someone else who's a premier agent.
Right, absolutely. So Nicole, you're bringing up a good idea because Premier
I'm
Agent.
not,
Right.
you know?
Premier Agent is expensive, so listen
Yes.
what Nicole just said. How many Premier Agents are there in this room? Look, raise your, up high, come on. Okay, see these people? If you're not a Premier Agent, call them up and they'll put it on there for you.
Yep.
If I get the call's coming right back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? What else can you do? You guys are gonna hear this over and over and over again for the month of November and December. I wanna wait until January.
You can canvass the neighborhood.
I can tell your neighbor, so you can choose your neighbor. Absolutely. So I will call all your neighbors and ask them. They have a great chance to choose their neighbor. Sister, brother, uncle, cousin. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, thanks. I have your neighbor's house listed 3 doors down, and you have a perfect chance to choose your neighbor. Sister, brother, uncle, cousin, anybody you know moving into the neighborhood.
Yes,
It's Colleen, right? I see you on tax records, right, Colleen?
yes.
You do have some friends moving in?
I think I did.
Great. It's 227. Can I send you a flyer?
Sure.
What's your email address?
Twins on 3.
And your cell number?
Here it is.
Okay, right? What's your email address and cell number? So now I got a contact, send her a brochure, right? That's choose your neighbor, right? Okay, so now you're choosing. Now you've already told them 4 things, and guys, there's a lot more. What else can you do?
Put a sign in the yard.
Sign in the front yard, and what does the sign say?
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Isn't there a rule on that now?
No.
No, what will be the best time frame? Meaning you can be coming soon for like 2 months.
But
I mean, you could.
for a
They
year.
do it
Yeah,
all the
no, I
time.
mean, it's one that you have a chance to lose someone on the web, no?
Say,
You may have a chance to lose someone on the web.
Lose
If it's
somebody?
too long, yeah, lose
Lose them?
somebody.
Well,
If it's too long, no?
No,
what, lose who?
I think you
You
need,
get- like a potential buyer.
You're not gonna lose any buyer if you have a coming soon.
It's a question.
on the
No,
MLS.
no, I get you, and that's what this is for, so I'm not picking on you, I'm just saying, don't overthink it.
Okay.
You're not gonna lose anything. You're gaining, because what are they gonna sign? They're gonna sign an exclusive right, and you took them out of the market. Because guess what? If you don't,
Somebody else.
they're gonna run into me at the holiday party. The guy that everybody in this room hates. Me.
I don't hate you. I don't hate you.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm at the guy saying, what? We can get you going now. Fuck, I just sold a house in 1 day. Full price. Market is happening. I'll work on it. I'll work on it right now. And if we can get rid of the other buyer's agent, I can put more money in your pocket. Let's go. I'll get the photography out of the way right now. I'll do the drone. So when November 5th, when January 15th happens, we can get you on the market that day. Versus signing and getting on the market February 1st? No, we can go now. Right?
Good call, or you could close
Yeah.
it.
I know. Energy's high.
How much coffee?
It's probably, you know, on steroids.
Oh,
oh.
that's.
I have a shoulder issue.
Steroid City.
All right, so what else? Coming soon.
And
We'll
really,
hold some open houses.
the other thing we actually said about the coming soon sign is that because she used the holidays were an issue, we said, well, think about all the holiday parties and people coming into your neighborhood
Decorative.
that weren't really,
Drive-bys.
that were not really looking, so that opens up more activity during that time.
Open houses, yep, and yep, open houses. What else?
I've found that houses that have been on the market a long time, they don't want to put them back on the market because the days on market makes them feel like
Right.
their house is not sellable. So
But-
this is a great way to present it.
Because you can be working with, the multiple listing service, guys, is just one level of advertising.
Marketing.
It's not the level, it's a level.
Isn't it
Is it-
almost for realtors? I mean, regular.
Pretty
common
much.
folk?
Yeah.
Pretty much, but it all starts from there because of the IDX feeds.
Yeah.
Right?
Right,
So,
right.
so when we put in the MLS at midnight tonight, if I put something active on the MLS today at midnight tonight, that's when everything goes to Remax.net, Zillow, Trulia, Homes.com, Go.com, List.com, ListHub, whatever you got, right? 300 websites, because we're a syndicated company. We have all these backside relationships that this happens for you guys automatically. There's some companies out there that are small brands, they can't do that. They gotta do all that manually. That's where Remax International plays a big role. That happens for you guys automatically. All right. Let's get creative now. Now we're getting down to the bottom of the barrel. Now remember, you gotta hit these people fast. Are they gonna be on the phone with you for 5 minutes letting you explain every one of these?
No.
No, you gotta hit them fast.
Yeah.
So you can say, you gotta hit them with coming soon, Premier Agent, and open house. So you gotta hit them with the top 3 of push buttons, and then tell them, I was just in business planning. Our group sold a house in 1 day in Desert Ridge this last week, which we did. Right? Are we a group? Can we use each other's stats in this room? Yeah. I had 2 offers. One is full price, but it's contingent. Right? It's a single level. Single levels are happening right now. 2 stories in the 4th quarter are hard to sell. All right.
2 stories in the 4th quarter are hard to sell.
Because
I
people
don't-
aren't looking at the time.
Well, it's
That
the
one.
snow
Master
that's
bedrooms
right
up.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
I think 2 stories are hard to sell,
Period.
period.
I concur with you.
depends.
They are hard.
Yeah, especially with the older.
That's, yeah.
They, I struggle a lot right now with 2 stories. But
Unless you're,
it's the
unless
4th
it's a
quarter.
350 or below, then it's a family.
Well, we have a
baby.
3, like it's 4 stairs to get down,
Yeah.
then
A
the
tri-level.
wall.
I mean, I don't want them, but I might as well get free chicken.
Stairs coming out of the garage. Is that a positive?
Pardon? Stairs coming out of the garage?
Pull in the garage, 4 stairs up into the main level.
This is
Oh,
shit.
Oh shit. That's right. So when you see that as a listing agent, right, you need to price it accordingly or make sure people know. All right. We can get the photography out of the way now. Okay? The biggest benefit for you guys to make sure you know this is you want to take them out of the market before they meet somebody else that is potentially better, nicer, or more intense. Right? Better, nicer, and more intense because it's competitive out there. So here's what you do. You say, let's get started. I'm going to send you over an employment agreement. And don't worry, we're not going to use the MLS to market your house. That's going to come in January. Okay? But in the meantime, we're going. You're putting America to work. We could sell your house. I'm going to get the photos, the drone, the open house, the coming soon, preferred. Anyway, you guys get it. Any questions on this subject? Use it. When you do the employment agreement, put today's date. What's today's date? Thursday, November.
8th.
Is that the starting date?
No. Oh, for the employment agreement, yes.
Why?
Because it ties them in.
Because if it gets
Yeah.
sold,
You have a
you need to
contract.
be on that contract to get paid.
Yes! You want to get paid. If you put January 15th on it and somebody writes an offer for you in November, are you going to get paid?
You know what was
No, believe it or not, I've seen this. So you put today's date on it, but on page 5, you put Seller notifies agent not to go into the multiple listing service until January 15th, 2019. Because if you don't, the seller runs into a debacle, they could blame you that you weren't marketing their house on the 5th level and you could get sued because you didn't use all resources. Let's say he goes into default and doesn't tell you the whole picture and loses his house in December, and then you get sued and you didn't have that in there as a memory of the conversation, you get in trouble. Sorry, Nicole.
No, I don't know if Mary was there for this part, but Bill Gray, we did ethics on Tuesday, and he talked about, which we deal with a lot, of people canceling or are talking to other agents while they're already on an ER agreement with somebody else. He said it is okay to have a new ER while their ER is still existing.
Oh, yeah. You could just
And-
put subject to cancellation of existing ER.
Yeah, and then, but then of course, if it goes under contract, the first one has precedence. Or however, let's say it expires, it was interesting, like, let's say it's expiring and they didn't sign the new agreement with the first agent
Okay,
until
wait.
after the second
Hang
agent.
on, you're
I'm
throwing
sorry.
out a lot of concepts, that's
Okay,
right, that's
okay,
right.
okay.
So look, I know what you're
Say you're
saying.
under
So
contract.
let's say there's an existing ER,
Yeah,
and that expiration date of that existing ER is when?
let's just say the end of November, right?
Alright, so 11/31,
Right. And then they
2018.
find another agent and they go,
Oh, sellers out there shopping?
Yeah.
Does this happen?
Sure.
Yeah, because this guy's had it for 180 days,
Yeah.
and now he's a bum.
yeah,
Shit, man, he knew anything.
right.
Right? Okay. What kept your home from selling? What would you like of your agent? What did your agent do best? Right? And 9 times out of 10, it's just get it in the end zone, sell my house. Right? All right. So now this guy failed,
Right,
and now who are they talking to in this room? So I'm the listing agent. I'm this guy. I'm going to
Right.
get canned here.
Mhm.
Who are they talking to?
whoever.
Let's say they're talking to you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so I signed an agreement and I started on, November 15th.
Okay. So
Right.
11/15, you have them sign a new ER.
Right. But
Okay.
then the original person feels bad, they don't wanna tell you no.
This guy, the seller.
Yeah, so then they sign an extension.
Oh.
Now you got
So,
two listings.
so who gets it?
This person.
It goes, yes.
Oh, that's yeah.
But I mean, that's,
Yeah,
no,
now
actually,
when
they
you
don't,
want-
no, they don't, it's when they sign the agreement, the second agent gets it.
I don't know about that.
That's well, it depends on when it, he said, oh, I'm sorry, it expires. It
Oh, now it expires, that's
Sorry,
different.
After it expires.
Yeah, if it expires.
and it
Now
goes-
wait, let's talk about this.
Sorry.
After it expires, you know that hole there that says holdovers? Let's say that says 90
But
days.
still, they sign the extension after they sign the ER with the second agent.
Oh my God.
So the second agent gets it.
I'd hang up on this guy. No.
No, I'm serious.
No, I
Is
know.
that complicated?
Yeah, but it doesn't happen very often. So
Right.
yes, so here's the deal. It's called a holdover. If this didn't exist,
Right,
and somebody comes back while the property was listed and wants to buy it, you're covered.
but it's after
If
the
it's-
expiration.
Yeah, well, if it's relisted,
And they don't
then none of
sign,
this applies anymore.
and they don't sign the extension with the first agent until
Yeah,
after.
I'd say this
Yeah.
seller's got a lot of.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But Bill brought this up because it happened.
No,
He brought it up, and I was
it-
like, wow,
not only
that's
did it,
crazy.
we get them at Fine
Yeah,
Print.
I was like,
We
whoa,
hear these often.
that's crazy.
You want it to be expired. You don't want them to sign. So I would have coached them here when they sign the ER, is say, now listen, on November 31st, when that expires, if they try to rally and say, oh, we got this, we got that, do not sign anything and no extensions.
Right.
Because I'm now on board. Now, if somebody comes back and you want an exception list or an exclusion list, I wouldn't agree to an exclusion list, but I would agree to an exception list. If anybody comes back, like if you're working somebody hard on November 30th and they love the house, right? They don't write an offer, but they're coming back December 10th and you feel bad for your agent, just get the name and number of the buyer and I will use the buyer's agent as a possible exclusion, because remember, you got the buyer's agent as 3%. Well, the buyer's agent would be bad because that's a bad example.
Yeah.
I'll give like your existing listing agent a 15% referral or something.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure you handle that because that can go on forever. All right, let's talk about lead generation.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Just simple answer. We have a seller, it kind of reminded me of this, that today we had an offer come in and they, with the holidays, the buyers are saying they want it before Christmas and they're giving everything that our sellers want, but the sellers don't want to do it. 'Cause it's-
Bummer.
So what do we do? How do we
Because
get
of
our,
Christmas?
because of Christmas, how do we convince our seller?
Well, so this is something I teach. You can never be more motivated than your seller. That doesn't work. If your seller, because then now you're being transparent. It's more about you and your goals,
Yeah.
not them and their goals. So I would just say, hey,
Well, we expire with them in December too, and we asked for an extension and she said she's not sure.
ooh,
I know, so we're just.
geez, and you performed. So I would turn that up a notch. I would
3 times we've performed.
I would say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you know, not only am I performing now at full price and getting everything you want, even though the timing doesn't work for you. And I understand that there's a lot of terms in the agreement. Like sometimes it's the right price, but bad clothes, right? So this is a perfect example of that. So I would work for an extension immediately and say, look, I performed 3 times, and just because you're not signing this, I mean, I performed, at least give me an extension through March of next year.
Yeah.
And then focus on the positives. Just say, hey, look, they're giving you what you want. There's an inconvenience. But you don't want to push too hard in that situation because you become the Kirby vacuum guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Where, buy today,
Yeah. Well, could
knife
they,
sharpener.
could they do a lease back though? Could they close on it and just do a lease back?
They could, but it sounds like these guys want to be in for the holidays.
Oh, no, they just want a house done for Christmas, they don't have to be here till February.
Uh,
And they
What?
said that.
Done for what?
The buyers?
The buyers, they just want the house, they wanna be done with looking by Christmas so they can enjoy their holidays, but they don't have to be
Oh, I get
on the
that.
ground in Arizona until
I
February.
get that. Check it off the list.
I know.
Tie it up, take it off the market.
Is the seller still motivated to sell, or have they
She
changed?
told Chase and I, we have 15 days to figure it out.
Huh?
Why do you have?
You do. You have 15 days?
You're not
They need to-
figuring it
But
out.
they have the offer.
Yeah, we don't know what to do, we're sitting here this morning like,
To
ugh.
figure it out.
Have you met with them face to face,
Who?
the sellers?
Oh, yeah.
So this is
Oh,
not,
without this specific offer?
Yeah.
No,
you need to go see them.
go see.
And you need to ask a lot of open-ended questions and
He
let
may
them
not
tell
get
you what's
another
going
offer
on.
forever. You never know.
Yeah, well, this is 3 offers in, gone through inspection, so the house already has that stigma on it.
Doesn't sound like much of a stigma if you got a full price offer on it.
That's
now.
true. Yeah, we just don't know how to handle it.
No, that's an asset that's gonna sell. You wanna stay in the deal.
Yeah,
So you want to be amenable, even if it goes into March of 2019. National Association of Realtors and Fidelity National Title, both economists have all said that 2019 is going to be a reflection of 2018. Was 2018 a great year?
Yes.
Yeah.
maybe
It was
use a
great.
policy since Desert Ridge, you can do a sales pitch for us.
I'll tell you what, if 2000, I don't want to scare you guys, but if 2019 was 2018, it's good. It is really good. I mean, just let that sink in again. You don't get a lot of windows like this. So like a lot of old timers when I was with Coldwell Banker, one of them said, oh God, it was like the realtor's prayer. And it goes like this, oh God, give me one more real estate boom and I promise I won't screw it up.
That was a bumper sticker.
Seriously, guys, this is a window where in 2022, you're gonna look back and say, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Because I'm telling you, it is really good right now. There is nothing holding this market back. So let me give you an example. I sent you and Robin a verbiage of 2006 to 2000. Oh, and Christy, you and I and Otley talked about 2006. Just a little bit of a stall, and we I don't know. Did Robin send that to them?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys want to talk about on lead generation? So when you get these objections, you want to make sure that you handle them. What about lead gen? What about any questions on lead generation? Any questions about growing your business?
There's
Okay,
a
look-
lot of callers right now.
Okay?
There's, you know,
Meaning a lot of
a
people
lot of
in your
agents calling.
calling, yeah.
And,
Because they know how important inventory is gonna be next year.
so, I mean, everybody's on the bandwagon. And I always thought, you know, fourth quarter, everybody goes on holiday, but it's different this
Not
time.
here.
Well, not, so if they're in coaching programs, they know that November, what did Finelli say? November sets up,
Here's January, February.
he had a rhyme though, where is he today?
In Colorado.
He's on vacation. No, he has a listing appointment. Don't tell my son that.
He's on the corporate jet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
well, there.
So November sets up January, guys. So if you have an average January, look back to what you're doing now. Okay, so there's a lot of things you could be doing now. So, Scott.
Yep.
If everybody's calling, I'd be door knocking,
That's, because they don't do that.
right?
Yep.
Do you have the 10 door knocks? Do you have them with you? Ho. We're gonna do this right after this, we're
Okay.
going door knocking.
Oh, I can't today,
Why?
because I have to go somewhere.
Where are you going?
I'm going to a Realtor Summit thing.
You're going where?
To the Realtor Summit thing. Well, I'm telling you.
You could say none of your business, I'm an independent contractor.
I have my kids at YOB.
Alright, so Christy and Otley and I have identified 44 houses in 85331 that have not relisted, that are incubating there, and we're gonna go out and door knock them. In your neighborhood, Mesa specifically, because you always wanna start in your home hub, you should do the same thing. Identify how many houses have not relisted, and we should be hitting, are we still hitting 85050? Okay.
We have 10 to go.
All right, and what zip code are you in, Johnny?
85251, 8525, or 85251.
Okay, you should be doing the same thing, so,
And,
okay, identify those, right? And then you still have that guy down in Old Town.
yeah, I've got a few. Got a few now.
Has he, when you triggered him, so.
Oh, so that guy, so yeah, listen to this one.
Yeah.
That guy went with, and I hammered this guy.
No, I know you were on it.
Like,
But we never got the
and
appointment.
he ended up listing with door number 2,
Which was?
which is a new real estate company.
Oh, it's
that-
called door number 2?
Door number 2,
I only
and
wanted to go
It's a
down.
brokerage, right?
it's a brokerage.
Yeah,
And
you sound like you're second best.
door number 2, yeah, so they're like,
Owned by Monty Hall.
their whole pitch is they're
Boy,
gonna,
did you lose on
they're gonna
that?
discount their listing.
Wow.
And they crushed it because it's under contract right now. It's $735.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably need it.
It's an
Yeah.
agent that came
Are
from
they a
the
discount?
Seabach team.
What's that?
Oh,
It's an
really?
agent from the
Yeah.
Seabach team that created it.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name. It's
Wow.
not, so
What-
it's
what
not
do they-
Jeff.
what do
Jeff
they
has nothing to do with
Well,
it.
no, because the
They just give
brokerage
you a
is door
flat
number
fee.
2.
They just say, hey, we're gonna charge you, anything under 500 grand, we're gonna charge you this. Anything above. It's a flat fee, but they're still making money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
So-
they're
All right, so
they're-
listen, guys.
but they're hammering, I mean, they got that listing and then they're hammering, I'm getting marketing in my house now from them,
God
They're-
damn, that
yeah.
makes me mad. That's why I told, remember I said you gotta have something in your shop. You gotta have listings in your shop, and then everything comes together, right?
You do.
Yeah.
It's so crucial to have, and
So we never got in the door with this guy.
I did, but I didn't close it, and I really think that the trust factor was there. I've remodeled homes in the neighborhood, I live in the neighborhood, I own a rental property in the neighborhood. I can tell you everything about those Hallcraft homes. And so he trusted me, and the deciding factor for him is he didn't want to pay his commission.
That's okay, let's talk about that. So you didn't give us
Right.
down to commissions, it was 6%. So you were at 6%?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I said,
No, that's all right, let's
I'm not
talk.
gonna discount my commission, but I'll
No,
move your
I'm not
property.
asking you to. I'm just gonna, we're learning, right?
Right.
So, because some in this room is gonna experience this. Okay, so you were at 6%. Did you do a sliding scale?
I didn't, no.
Okay.
I didn't get that far in the conversation because I knew he was talking to discounted brokerages.
Mhm.
And I knew that was his, but I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do a lot of work for you, and I'm shocked that, I mean, that's the highest non-updated home, it hasn't been updated in 10 years, 20 years, and it moved at 735, which is
Okay, so their flat listing fee is $4,288.
under
So-
500 grand, then it's tiered up.
Okay, but let's talk about this flat listing. It says no upfront cost, but I don't know how much they negotiate for that. But I'll tell you, so here's what I do. If I find out that somebody's offering this and they're one-upping me, I will match that.
Oh, absolutely, but I didn't know that they were talking.
Yeah, doing
That was gonna be my next question is,
Right.
because this happens to us, when this happens on my team, I go ballistic. So let me give you
Oh,
an
I went
example.
ballistic. I went back and he didn't have, it wasn't listed, and I saw a sign was up there, so I'm gonna go knock on his door. And I go, you know, hey man, like,
What
you
happened?
still need help with your rental property, you know, like, and he's like, yeah, we decided to list it because of the flat fee and it was a discounted deal.
Okay, all right. So when you know it's gonna be that competitive, it's crucial that you know before they sign what they're signing and who you lost to. Because there's still time in the game there at that point. If you find out that it was listed without you ever knowing and you're just driving home and the sign goes up, you were never really in the game.
Right.
Right.
And that's happened on my team, on my watch, on real players where I felt a customer, and I'll go banana because on my team, it's up, when we have a listing appointment, on my team, it's up to that agent to do lead follow-up. So I'll give you an example. I called the guy up out of the blue. I thought he was our customer. We door knocked this circle prospecting, except we door knocked. We door knocked around this successful listing. In fact, I got the farm kit right here. And the guy listed, and we didn't even know.
Right.
I went back to the person on my team and said, like, how can this happen? It's like being a defensive back and them scoring a touchdown, and you didn't know that they scored. I mean, you're not even in the game. Like, I'm throwing shit at that stage, right? I mean, heads roll. So at the end of the listing appointment, when you know it's competitive, you have to ask, who is in the running? Who else are you? If you don't lead with the contract, what are you thinking? Who else is in the running, and where do I stand?
Right. And that's where I failed. Hands down, I gave a shitty presentation. Like, looking back on it, I had rapport with the guy.
Yeah.
100%, he trusted me. But door number 2 gave a better presentation on how they were going to market the
Yeah,
property.
and it happens. Like right now, hey,
Right.
with this 72-hour thing he's doing, guys, it's a joke.
But
It's a joke. My theory on that is, okay, if you like the 72-hour listing, give them a 4-day listing.
Yeah.
because they'll bring an
24,
offer. and it'll be
48,
pretty low.
3-day listing. Sorry. See, I could never be a politician because as soon as I did that, I'm out. Give them a 3-day listing, right? So the 72-hour thing is just stand by, 3 open houses, offers discussed Monday at 5. That's all it is. All right? The other thing going around, if I don't sell your house by the end of this year, it's free or nothing, right? So you got to know these programs out there. I thank you for bringing that up and thank you for sharing, because if we don't come together in this room and learn, right? But I would do a flat fee listing for $4,288, but I'd say write me the check now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go out and buy a nice Christmas present.
And they're saying no upfront cost.
I saw that.
So,
That is such
Yeah.
a random number. That is so.
It's
if I-
not,
Well-
So I'm a
because
consumer, that is so random. I would say, help me understand what I get. I'm gonna be your consumer. For $42.88,
So what they did is they took, they calculated the median sales price under 500 grand. I did the math on it, and then they came up with that number based on
The averages.
And they're based on a discounted price. So they still saying, hey, I'm clipping 2%.
Yeah,
You know, they know what they're making, but it's all in the pitch. Hey, 4,400, like, holy house, I'm gonna be paying 30 grand, 40 grand, you know, so
They
people
still have
look
to
at.
pay the buyer's agent.
yeah,
Right.
that's my question.
They still pay the buyer's
agent.
agent, they still pay the buyers 3%.
Most
But
people wouldn't.
they're only paying, door number 2, 1.5%.
I'm
But-
still confused.
And then they're gonna market it and bring in the buyer. I mean, that's their
Maybe
goal.
the discount services, so I might be an affiliate, but I'm a consumer too. Here's what I think, what do I not get? Because if you're willing to discount, that's true with anything.
Yeah.
What am I not getting?
Well, they did a
That's-
pretty good job. They moved the property in 2 months.
That's
Sign a
great,
contract.
but some people think that way, and that is if you're willing to take.
So let's talk about what you get.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what.
So I would use terms like, look, in this price range, I can chomp through $15,000 of the net price to you in a second just by positioning statements. And then I let that sit in, because do they know what positioning statements mean?
No.
Right, so I let that sit for a second, right? And I say positioning statements go like this. When the buyer's agent calls me and they say, hey, I see you've been on the market 45 days, right? That's a positioning question. That response of what the agent says in that 3-second period can cost you $15,000 to $28,000 right out of the gate. Because I hear it all day long. And the agent on the other side can either go like this, yeah, it's been a long. That master bedroom just needs to be completely cut. It is. And I do this on listing presentations. It has been an uphill path.
We need to sell it, we need
The
to get rid
seller
of it.
calls me every day. Right? Okay. Or the feedback's been phenomenal. We were house of the week. We've gotten offers. We've gotten second showings. I have a callback list. It's gonna sell any minute. Look at the difference in those two. $15,000, $20,000, $28,000 in a nanosecond with me, right? So I spend a lot of time on negotiations because that's a lot of reasons why people hire us. So when I go over that listing presentation that I've given you guys, I don't skip anything. I spend time on every one of those until they're either disinterested, fidgety, or they say they got it.
One listing presentation,
I'll send it to you.
please.
Yep, so I have a 2-page listing presentation. Yep, okay.
He's passed it out.
Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't here, Brian.
I get it.
I was on the golf course.
Keith, can you make sure did we send out the sign-in sheet?
No.
Do we have a sign-in sheet?
We can make it.
No, no, and no. All right. Keith, please pass around a sign-in sheet. It could be just right there. Everybody's email address so that everybody gets my listing presentation today. So it's important that you don't miss any of that. Now, lead generate, lead follow-up, negotiate, and present. That's all we do. Today we talked about some presenting, right? Not enough around lead generation. Some lead follow-up with Deborah, right? So now how are you gonna follow up with her? You need to put her on a portal. You know, so everything that happens in her subdivision, she gets automatic updates, right? Just like you were a buyer, now you put the seller on that. Did you put your seller on a portal?
No.
Okay, good idea to do that because of the way you can keep in touch with them. Okay, all right. So anytime you got a prospect that's a seller, you put them on a buyer portal so they get community updates, right? Good way to do it. Yeah. So you know how you put a buyer on a portal, put sellers on portals. It's a good way to follow up with them. So if they got a single level, 3-car garage with a pool in McDowell Mountain Ranch, you put them on a portal of 3-car garage, single level with a pool in McDowell Mountain Ranch, so they're on
Well,
that.
and wait to some call, did you see that one that just sold? And then you don't sound like what? Like,
Yep.
the ones in
Yeah.
Verde, they
I
are
always just
so
say,
nosy,
yeah, can you
they know
believe it?
everything.
Even though
Oh
I
my
don't.
god.
Not in a bad way, that's, no, you know how they are.
I know
So
how
we,
they are.
Bonnie has us, we have to know everything that sells every single morning.
Bonnie has that whole
Yeah,
market.
but the good news, Johnny, on that one, you lead generated, that was a lead that wasn't given.
Yeah, I went to school on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's.
It happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough house, in my opinion. I don't, if it drops out, busts out, I wouldn't be surprised because it's a lot of money for what they're.
See, that's another thing you can say is, you have new agents out there doing discounts, and a lot of those probably fall out of escrow.
Right.
Right, so that's
Experienced
where,
agents, and
I mean,
they know if it's a good deal or a bad deal. And a lot of them fall out, or they end up,
The thing for this guy
Taking
is
the
pretty
shorts.
simple. He had it listed, the agent didn't do a good job, they didn't sell it. I was confident that I was gonna move his house and I'm not gonna discount my commission.
Okay.
He wanted to fade that. He wanted to, he wanted to be like, you know what, like, I already listed, I tried it, but,
Right.
with it. So,
All right, let's go over commissions just for 1 second. So guys, here's what I do. There's a way that you can make it look better than it is. I say I do a 6-5-4. 6% if there's 2 agents involved, 5% if I find the buyer without another buyer's agent involved, and 4% if the buyer comes off the sign. And then if you want to get really creative, you could say if you find the buyer, I'll do it for 1.5.
yeah.
If you find the buyer without another agent involved, I'll do it for 1.5. Now, did I give away the farm?
No.
Not really. Watch this. So we already got a 3% co-broke to the buyer's agent. So this I split, right, whatever. This, I'm making 2% more than the buyer's agent. And this, I'm still making 1% more, right? And then even if he finds the buyer, what's the probability of that?
You're making more than $4,444 or whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, now, and you can even incorporate that in, that I'll tell you what, if you find the buyer, or whatever, it's 4,800 and, just to, mix them together. But you gotta know who your competition is, and Bob Roney, I hate to keep bringing that up, that's the guy that I've had for over a decade that kept interviewing people, and then I kept massaging my deal. I learned a lot from that I brought to you guys about the end of the year if I don't sell it, and the 72-hour Hague deal, right? All right, what lead generation category do you guys want to concentrate on today? You want to do circle prospecting, expireds, physical? It's we're calling around your listings, kind of like what we're doing on 83rd, right? Do you want to talk about, so you'll see that I got a golf sheet with me yesterday. Yesterday I was with some clients in Montana, and you can see I got an email right here, a guy named Bill in Canada that's here for the next 90 days that I golfed with, that's staying with some people that have been in the past staying in Hawaii. So 2 potential deals right there. So I'm going to email him today and say, hey, it was great golfing with you yesterday, Bill. Make sure you pass that on to your friends. And by the way, here's all the properties available in Goodyear between $300,000 and $500,000. Okay? I got another guy named Yankee that I ran into church Saturday. Yep. And he mentioned to me that they're in a tri-level and the house is way too big. In the past, I haven't been aggressive as I should have with these people. And now I'm getting aggressive with them, right? I'm creating lists. My SOI, I'm gonna get much better on my SOI. Got an email last night from a girl named Janetta, don't know her last name. But now she's married to a friend of mine named Dan Smith that I played high school football with. He was a upperclassman. Do you guys remember the video I did on the Next Gen house up in Lone Mountain? Okay, so Lone Mountain and 60th Street, they have a Next Gen home where they have that guest casita attached to it. And I said, hey, check this out. I'm up showing houses at, I owe Frank Finelli for this, so you gotta tell him this. I'm up at Lone Mountain at 60th Street. This is a Next Gen house. Check this out. This is attached to the house, but it's another house. It's really 2 houses in one, and did this video. Well, she sends me a text yesterday and says, hey, Janetta, you might not remember me. We went to high school together. I ended up marrying Don Smith, which ended up going to the Air Force Academy, which was a big deal in the Colorado Springs area. And Don remembers you, but the reason why I'm calling is you did a Facebook post on the Next Gen house, and I think that's going to work for us. What are you doing today at 5, and tomorrow morning we want to check it out? And now I'm sending them stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I would have never done that a year ago, but now I do it. Like, did you guys see? Are my Facebook friends with anybody in here?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Did you guys see the one I had about staging
Yes,
homes?
Yeah.
I had 500. Now I'm up to 558 views on that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that was something that I did on the spot. It was kind of shitty, but that was something that I did.
It worked.
Dude, all my
Yeah.
crappy, but you still
Yeah.
get views and it gives you,
Yeah.
You know, it shows that you're real too.
Well,
Yeah.
here's another thing I noticed. Like when I go, I don't know how Facebook works, but Finelli is. But one of the things that I've seen is I also think the more you post, let's say you post a lot and we're friends. and you look at my Facebook page, but Colleen is posting a lot, she'll be the first to pop up. I think that's the way it
It's the
works.
algorithms.
Yeah.
Exactly what it
So if you don't ever post, when, Scott, if you and I are friends and somebody's looking at your portfolio, your Facebook page, and I post every day, I'll be the first one to pop up. Now, I probably don't pop up very often when somebody else is looking at somebody else's Facebook page in this room, because I don't post enough.
You kind of do on Greg's though, or
Greg Reader?
like the work one.
Yeah, but that's
That-
different, that's not.
That's not
his
his,
business.
that's private. Oh, because that one comes up a lot.
Do you have a-
Yeah, that's
A
private.
business page?
Private.
Yeah, we have a round C
I get
page.
the same
and
like
this thing.
10 people
Yeah.
all the time.
All right, but you should be posting, right? It's a good idea. I wouldn't post too much. How much is too much? Twice a week is probably too much. Just my opinion. I know Finelli posts
He
every
likes to
day.
do a business one and he likes to do a personal one.
Okay.
So he tries to balance them out. He's trying to get me to post more. I'm getting there, but he likes to do a business post
we'll
and
just
a
be
personal
authentic.
post. He kind of, yeah.
His are
right.
engaging and
They are,
fun.
they
Like,
are.
Our team wants us to do twice a day, and Chase and I are like, I have nothing to say.
Oh, twice
No,
a
you
day.
don't want
Twitter.
All right, so watch this, guys. So the first of the week starts on Sunday at church, right?
Right.
Picked up the Yankees. Then I advanced Wednesday to golf, picked up Bill and his friends, right? Then I advanced to last night because a Facebook post that I did probably over a month ago hooks me back up with a high school buddy that went to the Air Force Academy, Don Smith. Pretty crazy. And none of that was this or this,
Cost you no money.
right? And it cost me no money.
Those are the
So I don't want to be, in sitting down with Christy and Otley kind of looked at me and it was an epiphany for me, a bullseye. And he goes, dude, it's not always about the phone. And it's not. But if it's not about the phone, right, what is it for you? Because you got to figure out what it is, right?
You still gotta get in front of people.
You got to get in front of people, or people need to find you rapidly on
Right.
paying top search engine optimization.
Finding your niche, like you're great at the phone, so you should stick with it, obviously. But other people might not. Like I talk like this on the phone. No one's gonna want to buy a house when I'm like.
Well, are you
"Hi, how
standing
are
up when
you?"
you're talking on the phone?
But still, I'm
Mm.
quiet and shy. You
Not
know, if I
but
stand up, Hi, how are you?
It-
Like I'm
there's a-
not.
Yeah, but see,
energy.
but watch. You just laugh.
That's true. Maybe.
No, it's a fact. Like watch.
Chase
When you
is like,
Johnny,
I'm like,
is there a difference in this swing? Watch my shoulder, right? Is there a difference in this swing or this swing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little more energy.
absolutely. More energy, yes. But so one of the guys that coaches me a little bit in golf, he noticed that I do this.
You
My
sway.
first move, yeah, I sway. Where he said, dude, here's all he told me.
Don't-
When you swing, keep your shoulder on the wall.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? He goes, act like you're leaning on a wall and your swing needs to be like this, not this. Because I'm going away from the ball, right?
Right on your left
He said
side.
there's too much going on here. It's the same thing with you. If you're sitting down, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's the same thing as when you're coaching a defensive back. Defensive backs are usually like this because they don't know where they're going to go and they're on their toes, not on their heels. If you're on your heels, you're stagnant. If you're on your toes, you're mobile. It's the same thing when you're making calls. And I told you guys how to set up your station when you're cold calling. In front of a mirror, your scripts and dialogues, no distraction, you're karate chopping,
And your
you're
vision
moving.
board.
And your vision board, and you're vibrant. People don't want to hear. Remember the position statement? Step on low. 50 days. I wonder if I'm going to get a check by Christmas.
No kidding.
Verse, man, something's happening, it's popping, we're doing an open house, got a second showing tonight, you guys can piggyback on it. I use that even though there's not a second showing. Did you hear that? So watch this, they call me to position say, it's been on the market 45 days. Yeah, it is happening. We've had second showings, got a callback list. In fact, you can pony back tonight on one of the second showings I have. They're gonna be there at 6, you guys can come at 6:20.
You just made it more interesting.
Made it more interesting, put some pressure on the buyer's agent, right? You want to be a little careful creating urgency, right? But you got to know when to press it also. And that's why in negotiations, I would say those guys, if they didn't negotiate that hard for themselves, Johnny, they probably didn't negotiate that hard for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but I'm being the poor sport now, right? Because I wanted.
I'm over that one.
Yeah, okay.
It's on to the next one.
All right, yeah, absolutely. All right, so I want to make a couple of calls. Do you guys want to hear me call like my past clients? Like what I say about past clients? All right, I'm going to make 2 calls to people that I've already done deals with.
Throw it at you.
I've already done deals with, and I'm just like updating the CRM that I have them in. Thanks for coming, Johnny. Yeah, go, go, go. So I'm updating my. So I'll give you an example. There's one sheet of past clients. And we update these often. Look at all the changes on this list. Email addresses, divorces, kids, job changes, rentals, just on this one page. These are all changes. New cell number, new email address. I had Cave Creek and it should have been Phoenix. This guy moved without me. It happens. Anyway, you get the idea of that. So you got to stay in touch with your database, right? So if you have 70 people in your database, there's 22 work. Anyway, you want to figure it out. I have a lot, so I try to do 10 a day of these calls. And now I switched my vision a little bit. I'm trying to call these guys first every day now. Because it helps me warm up and I'm already familiar with them. All right, so let me look here real quick. I'm gonna call Lynn and Nancy Levy. And I'm just gonna say hello. He travels during the summer, he fishes, he has a camper that he pulls on the back. I'm gonna try to keep it short because he's a talker. And then I'm also at generational. What does that mean? I've worked with Nancy and Lynn's kids, and there's a guy named Greco in town, and I've gone 4 generations deep with that family. 4 generations. In 23 years, 4 generations of Grecos, right? All right, so Levy, I'm only 2 generations, but
You're just calling to touch base.
I'm calling to say, how in the hell are you?
Is this your sphere?
Sphere, S-O-I.
And they're gonna go.
He's gonna say, what? Where have you been? And I was gonna sell this house in Legend Trails a couple of years ago. Even on this. Yeah. I forgot his son's name, Mike. I think it's Mike. Message is fine. Hey, Lynn and Nancy, Del Rounds. Hey, I was just calling to see how you guys were doing. I know you're probably back in town from fishing and checking out the rest of the world. Hey, wanted to call, being in the 4th quarter, and see what your 2019 real estate resolutions might be. If you have any goals for housing in 2019. Not too early to start, at least talk about that during the 4th quarter. Anyway, call me back. Hope you guys are doing great. 602-809-7653. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Thanks, Lynn and Nancy. Talk to you soon. Bye. If you want to use there's a deal called, you can go start, let's say you wanted to bang out 10 of these fast. Yeah. You can dial like star, what is it? Star what?
6, 7.
That just hides the call.
What?
What do
No, you go right to voicemail.
Yeah.
Star 6, 7 is.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a way, I don't know what it is.
Go right to voicemail
Yeah,
and leave a message?
yeah.
Get that for me.
So let me tell you,
I didn't do that.
oh, okay, I was wondering where that was going. So let's say, you know what, I like Christy, she's great. Fuck, she talks a lot, right? And I just want to get a message. So I go star whatever. Let's Google that real quick. So, okay. So Christy, no, I'm only picking on you.
Oh,
Right. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure you know.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. Okay. All So I just want to say your inspection's tomorrow at 3:30. I don't want to talk about other things right now. So you put start blank, 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 and I say, hey, Chris, your inspection's tomorrow's at 3:30. The inspector has the CBS code. They'll be there to meet you. I'll be there for the wrap up. See you then. Where you don't have to pick up.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So Slide Dial is
Slide-
free, and you can just
Slide Dial,
go to your,
Is that what
what's
you're
it
talking
called?
about?
Slide,
Well,
SLY.
I think slide is more bulk. This is just for a single call. You
Yeah.
can
No,
press
this is for
No.
single calls too.
Okay,
Oh, it is.
Call, you
to
can do
block your
broadcast
number when
or
calling
single.
someone,
Star
you need to
6
dial
7.
*67 before
Right.
you enter the number.
Right.
Block your number from showing up on a caller ID.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about block. I'm talking about going right to voicemail.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
looking
I'm
at
just telling you
Slide
what
Dial
this
right now.
does.
It's all good. I'm just letting you guys know it's nice. I was actually kind of happy that Lynn and Nancy didn't answer because it's mission accomplished, and you can bang out 10 of these if you don't want to have conversations. You can go right to voicemail, right?
It says ringless voicemail drops.
All right. So that's how I would. Anybody in my SOI now, you want to verify because I'm getting ready to send out company calendars for 2019. I want to verify everybody's addresses, right? Because I always get like 150 back. So SOI is a big deal.
And Otley called someone the other day, I hadn't talked to him in a while, yesterday, he just talked to him, and the guy actually said, I've been thinking about you, I've been wondering why you haven't called me. So just like random, you know, people you think you're bugging them, but sometimes they really do just wanna talk and his
No,
life
you're not.
has changed.
But you want to be careful.
That's why I call.
Yeah.
All right, so you got two guys on your shoulders every time. One is this guy that you don't want to listen to that's saying you're bothering them. And the other guy over here is the guy you want to listen to that says you're helping them. Because you are. You're getting vital information. How often does your stockbroker or accountant check in?
Never.
Shame on them. We got a guy in Colorado that checks on, not me, my wife, once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month. And he gets a large I have two financial planners, one here locally and one in Colorado, and he gets most of the deals because he stays in touch. Because my wife might that day be thinking of bonds. You know, bonds are really popular right now. She sold 4 of our financial stocks about a month and a half ago. Wells Fargo, B of A, and JP Morgan. She sold them all, got out just in time because now they've all dropped about 8% and went into bonds. It was perfect timing. He called her up and said, hey, next time you get that intuition, let me know a week before. Because he was kind of using that information. All right. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm afraid the meeting's gonna end, and I'm like, I wanna ask you a question before we leave. Different subject though, I mean, obviously real estate, but, have you ever had a listing where the seller wants to be the main point of contact, wants to do the negotiation
Wow.
and the showings, and you just are doing the paperwork and having your sign up? Have you ever had
Doesn't
that
want to pay
situation?
commission.
I'd say great.
I have that situation right now, but it's.
So he wants to take the bull by the horns, and he's better than you are.
Well, he is, because it's in Prescott, first off.
Okay.
And he knows I'm not an expert there, but he wants my sign out there. It's land, never done land. Thankfully Kelly has, so.
How's he going to show land?
Right.
There it
I
is.
don't think, yeah. He told me he wants to do any potential showings. He lives here in Scottsdale, but he has 2 land
Okay.
properties over there. And he wants to be the main point of contact, so in the MLS or wherever
Yeah.
public remarks,
Fine.
contact seller, we just do the paperwork and the signing. Have you ever, or the sign?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is
He's giving us
put-
2%. I'm like, 2% to sit on my butt and do some
Yeah,
paperwork?
there's
Is
nothing,
that
there's nothing
gonna
wrong
be
with
true?
that. As long as you're representing him, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
You have an ER and you're representing him in negotiations, etc.
Okay,
You can have a huddle right here at the office in negotiations where he can be in the room with the buyer, however that works.
okay.
Yeah, there's nothing.
But you've never had that,
Oh, yeah.
you have,
I've had
okay.
very strong personalities.
Okay, I just didn't know if there were any red flags with that or be aware of something.
No, you just want to make sure that if there's any terms in negotiations that are getting thrown around, that you're there at the beginning.
Okay,
Yeah, no worries.
Okay,
Nice
all right,
seeing you.
Okay, you too, thank
A
you.
lot of guys don't put everything in writing on those deals. So when it goes into
Yeah.
escrow,
Right.
the buyer's assuming this and the seller's assuming something different.
Right, like
He's
I'll
very
give you an example, I'm in a
old-fashioned,
deal
so-
right now where it kind of continues to string along, and it's going like, oh, I forgot to put the washer and dryer in, oh, what about the pot racks? Oh, are the TV staying, are the mounts staying? And I'm like, Buyer's agent, this should have been done at the beginning.
Mhm.
You know, you should have, you know,
Don't
be,
go back and renegotiate.
At least it's land with no,
No
house on
guarantees.
it.
right?
But-
Land is great. Land is great. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I do with landowners frequently is I say, hey, can you meet the buyer and the buyer's agent out there to walk the corners? And to show, so there's usually one crown that's the best building envelope, what are the setbacks, where's the water, you know, all that kind of stuff. And in Prescott, you want to be a little careful because you're out of your area of
And he
expertise.
knows that. I met him at an open house here in Scottsdale, but he has multiple land properties, so I want, like this could be
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah,
a
and you're gonna have
contract.
to join the Prescott board.
MLS.
Right, well, so I told him, I'm not part of the MLS over there, only here in Maricopa, and he was like, that's fine, he's like, if we find 6 months down the road that it's a problem, so he's like, in no rush.
So you're gonna put it in Maricopa counties?
Well, our MLS, but obviously not Prescott's, and I told him that, I said, are you okay with not having?
You
If he
might
said
wanna
no,
call
I
a
would've-
Remax agent that's a member up there and ask if they'll do a courtesy listing for you. They'll probably
That's what
tell you
I'm
no, but.
thinking too, yeah, I'm thinking, are you able to do a courtesy?
Mhm.
Okay,
If somebody called me from Flagstaff and wanted me to put something in the MLS down here, and then in the verbiage say, something that, we'll talk to Sandy. Sandy always gets mad at me on this stuff, but there's probably.
I did talk to Sandy, because I wanted to
Okay.
make sure, like,
All right,
but
let's talk about
Okay.
referrals real quick. Guys, don't forget about referrals. And I'm talking about from Florida to San Francisco. You can, Finelli's a
I
fanatic
mean,
about
we
it.
can even help her find it, and
if I have to utilize a press
courtesy,
Yeah.
any agents within our office, as a courtesy,
As long as
we will help find a really good agent for them.
Yes,
We vet them, it's
I'm sure
a
there is.
process,
yeah.
but yeah, referrals are huge.
Yep.
And it's, like he says, mailbox money.
Yeah.
Most agents forget about it.
Convenience-based referral things.
Yeah,
See what they think.
good stuff. Outgoing and incoming referrals are huge. All right, any other questions? Thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, so,
This is my first meeting. This is good. This is
all
good.
right, so what I'm waiting for is the meeting, when the meeting that a veteran comes in here and says, hey, you know what, Del, I'm gonna make 3 calls right now in front of everybody.
What's that?
I'm waiting for the day where I walk in here and one of you look at me and say, hey, Del, I'm gonna make 3 calls right now in front of
If
everybody.
Finale was here, he would do it.
He
Would
would.
you? Okay. All right, good. Next week?
The
I heard you
22nd,
say.
I'll do it the 22nd,
Okay.
that's Thanksgiving and we'll be here.
But listen, you should be having an open house this weekend. If you don't have them, I got a ton of them. I offered one up to Scott.
Yeah.
That's the house I sold.
Oh,
And
okay.
it sold.
So I guess
It's-
no open house there.
No open house there. I got plenty of
You
them.
have another one there, right?
I got them everywhere. I got a vacant one in DC Ranch right now at 980. In fact, I told Christy and Otley to just make that their office the next 30 days. So watch this.
Yeah, that's my home of the month.
Is it?
Yes.
So there's a guy, so tell them about that because this is something you guys need to know. Anytime I'm LA1,
Yeah.
you can do anything you want with that listing. So tell them what that means, Nicole.
What do you mean? Like-
Tell them what that means.
Let's
What are you doing with it? It's the home of the
So I
month.
do a newsletter, an email newsletter, which actually it's all part of the whole package of marketing that I do. And I do a home of the month. Now, he suggests I do it 2 emails a month, and I haven't been doing that, but at least once a month I pick, if I don't have a listing, because I was having listings, if I don't, and I've used Kelly's too. And she's totally fine with that, and I think it was one of yours, but yeah, you're like, okay, thanks. But I use Kelly's or yours if their agent's okay with it, and always LA.
Which I am. Should I give you guys my permission today? Any house.
Yeah, always LA1, of course, and I just go, okay, and I put it in, it's a landing page on my website, and then I also feature it on my email blast.
All right, so anytime you see me as LA1, you can do anything you want with that listing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what does the LA1 mean? Just listen.
Listen agent one.
Okay, like the first listen.
No, great question.
I just wanted to make sure that's
No,
what I meant.
it's the same. I love questions because somebody else is probably thinking the same fucking thing. So
Yeah.
I love them. All right, I think we had some vendors in here. Go ahead. Home warranty? Yeah, let's hear about it.
Oh, I'm gonna be totally not self-serving. If anybody wants to ring the bell for the Salvation Army
Ring.
for the last couple of years, I don't know where it is yet, I'll find out today. But if you wanna ring the bell, you know, they do make a sign, so it said, like last year, Beth rang, but it says ring next time property, so that gets to go up.
Oh.
And Joanna Joseph Callaway just found out that NAR has allowed us to use the Realtor logo for Real Estate Wednesday. So before, it was a little subtle, this is the first year that we can use. So NAR just gave them permission. Last week I went to Boston to go to NAR. They just gave them permission.
When can you ring the bell?
On a
So it's
Wednesday.
every
There's different
Wednesday,
times.
it starts the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. You know, I'll send Jennifer an email now if you're okay with that, she can blast it out.
That'd be great.
Because I had a location that I gave up, but I've got a new location. I'll know today at 3 o'clock.
Okay, did everybody sign in?
Yes,
Yes,
Where is that?
over there.
Okay, all right. You're gonna send them my listing.
they do. But I'm-
Go to Emily and ask her for my listing agenda. All right, who else is vendors in here?
Just
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just give you guys a quick rundown. My name's Rob Cannon. I've been with Fidelity Title for the last 9 years.
longer than me.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the valley, but now primarily based out of Scottsdale. I was in the West Valley for about 8 years. But I live in Fountain Hills, so that was a little bit of a challenge going to Buckeye.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
And was a lender before this, so I've been in this business for about 30 years, so I bring a unique perspective compared to other title reps, because I went to real estate school and this close to taking the test and found a way to weasel out of that, and was a sales manager at Equity for a while. So, yeah, need anything, just let me know.
All right.
Well, then just Katie with the Tobias team. I know a lot of familiar faces in
John
there,
and
so-
Ben, right?
Yep, John and Ben Tobias.
How are they doing?
Very good. So the guys send me up here to say hi to y'all, and sometimes Ben will come up with me too. So if you need anything, have any questions.
Who would like to do a 9 and wine in here?
Yeah, we did do one of those.
Oh,
We're
what?
taking
Wow.
it around
9
and
holes of
doing
golf
it
and
again.
some wine.
Yeah. So we did that at the JW Marriott.
Yeah,
and
let's
it
do
was
it
a
again.
really
We're
good
ready.
time.
9 in the morning, you
Yeah,
have one.
so we might be
Get on our
scheduling
knees.
another one.
Or nine and iced teas, okay?
Yeah.
I'm on
Yes.
an official 5-day sabbatical because I'm
Yeah.
on steroids and no alcohol.
Yeah,
so-
we don't force you to drink the wine, but it's an option if you'd like to, so.
Highly recommended after.
Yeah.
Makes the golf skills a little better, at least for me, so.
So where are interest rates on a 30-year fixed jumbo?
It kind of depends, on a jumbo, we're looking at like 4.875 right now.
4.875.
Yeah, and that's like top tier credit, putting down, minimum
800
down.
FICO score, big
Yeah,
FICO
well,
score.
760 and up,
Okay,
so.
and you guys have a lock and shop program?
We do, yes, so that is available, we can do TBD approvals just like everybody else. kind
So that's one of the things that, so, okay, Lori got so let's talk about that. So Lori got an email the other day from the referral network, which you guys are part of, which
Right.
by the way, I need to talk to you about an agent right after this.
Okay.
Because I wanna lock them in. And from the referral network, which we got a 25% outgoing referral fee, and this one's unique, they already have a house selected. So I asked Lori to do the math on this deal. It's a $1 million house. 3% of $1 million, Lori, is?
30,000.
30,000,
Okay?
yeah,
So
I
we
think
offer her a rebate.
yes.
So tell
Her
me what,
rebate would be $6,325.
okay, so offer it.
I did.
Good. Did it work?
Haven't heard back from her yet.
Because this house is already listed. She's already pegged it. We're going to offer her a rebate because we might show her one house and make 15 grand.
Right.
One house and
She
make
even
15
said,
grand.
like,
Are they still,
this
are
time
they
phone call
interviewing
makes
other agents?
yours-
Is that
Yeah, we're
right?
down to 2 and we're still in the mix. Now if they're financing, right?
Yeah.
You want to tell them
It's
that
not, it's cash.
cash.
But if it was, then you could use.
Yeah.
that.
This is referral exchange.
So I would go out, I would call the listing agent on that house and go out and do a video.
She wouldn't tell me.
Go time.
I
It's a
know.
lot of money. Think about that. You could have that money before Christmas.
I know.
I keep using
For all
that.
the shopping.
And it's good and bad. I tell people, you don't want to work now, no money for you Christmas.